Mr. Mayor.
Hey, Kelly.
I wanted to ask you, Mahmoud Khalil has a deportation order to Algeria. I'm wondering, are you doing any back channeling with the president on his case to get that changed? And then I noticed the borough president is here for the first time since he's been endorsed by Nydia Velazquez. And the question for both of you, you both standing here united, what does this mean for the Democratic Party here in New York that seems to be schisming and splitting between progressives and Democratic socialists?
So I will go with your first question, then I'll go to your second question. Mahmoud Khalil is a New Yorker. He should remain in New York City. We have seen this attack on him as part of a larger attack on the freedom of speech that is especially pronounced when it comes to the use of that speech to stand up for Palestinian human rights. And I will make that clear to everyone, and I have said it time and again, that he deserves to stay in this city. He deserves to be in the city just like any other New Yorker. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We are together today to discuss our new efforts to provide health care to young New Yorkers through an exciting initiative with New York City Health and Hospitals. But before we do, sorry, brother, if you want to just shift over a little bit. Thank you. Let me know if we're good. Thank you. Thank you. It takes all of us together. Before we do speak about the topic at hand, I do want to first speak directly to New Yorkers about the snowstorm that is forecast to hit our city this week. Here are the facts. We are expecting precipitation to begin late Saturday or early Sunday and to possibly last into Monday. The forecast is predicting anywhere from 3 to 12 inches of snow. New Yorkers know that forecasts do not always get it right. It is entirely possible that we get less than 3 inches and just as possible that we get over a foot. While we cannot control how much snow will actually fall this weekend, we can control how we prepare for and respond to this storm. And so that is why tomorrow we are going to begin citywide pre-snow treatment. What that means is that we will brine all highways, major streets, and bike lanes to mitigate snow and ice accumulation, and we are also going to accelerate cleanup once the storm has passed. So on Saturday morning, roughly 2,000 sanitation workers will begin 12-hour shifts, removing snow around the clock. As we speak, our sanitation fleet is being transformed into a snow-clearing fleet. DSNY is very good at what they do, and they are very well practiced at this work. And as the snow falls more heavily on Saturday evening, we will deploy 700 salt spreaders. We are going to be able to hit every single part of our city with multiple passes. And once a couple of inches of snow have fallen, snowplows will begin operating across the city. And since the storm is bringing with it a cold front, code blue is also going to be in effect. What that means is that outreach teams are going to canvass the city to connect vulnerable New Yorkers to shelter. Now, I know that New York City parents and students both want to know what this means for school, although I imagine they want to hear different answers. So we are working to do everything that we can to keep our schools open. And once we make a final decision as to what it will look like on Monday, we will communicate that clearly and directly to families and to students themselves. And I want to thank in advance the thousands of city workers who will be hard at work over the days to come, who will keep our city running and who will take care of our fellow New Yorkers. This forecast is quickly changing, and the city will continue to provide updates as the situation evolves. I would ask if you are interested, and I would ask even if you're not, to please sign up to Notify NYC to receive the latest information on the storm. We have millions of New Yorkers who've signed up already. We encourage others to do the same. And so my recommendation to New Yorkers before we speak more about the topic at hand is that if you're interested in buying some groceries or getting a new winter coat today, I would recommend is the day to do so. Do not leave it until the weekend. I ask that everyone not only stay warm, but stay prepared because we want everyone to stay safe. So with that, we want to also look out for the people of the city, not just when a snowstorm is coming, but frankly every day. And that work is an ongoing effort. And it begins by tending to the health of young New Yorkers. And I'm so proud to be here at Woodhull, to be here alongside the incredible hospital executives and doctors and nurses and the elected officials who are coming together today to celebrate this moment where we are finally meeting the needs of a number of young people across not just Brooklyn, but also Queens. And we are speaking about the health of young New Yorkers who are often reluctant to seek care or who don't have the health resources specifically tailored to their needs. And we know that as New Yorkers transition into adulthood, their lives, their priorities, they change. Some of them move out of the home that they grew up in. Some of them no longer interact with the parents who would make the appointments for them for these kinds of things. And teens age out of pediatric care and their healthcare needs evolve. And yet we know that those kinds of changes and the lack of that healthcare access, they come with negative health outcomes for young people, the future of our city. We see data that shows that about 90% of young people stop seeing their mental health care provider after they turn 21. And what we want to do is to make it easier for those 21-year-olds, for those young people at large, to access the behavioral care that they need. So we are here today to announce the opening of 2 new clinics at NYC Health and Hospitals in Queens and right here in Woodhull, Brooklyn, specifically aimed at supporting New Yorkers between the ages of 16 and 25. These clinics will be supported by $4 million from Metro Plus Health, and the services they deliver will be nothing short of comprehensive. We are speaking about New Yorkers who will be able to visit these clinics and not only receive mental health and behavioral health care, but also reproductive care, vocational support, and social support services. We are talking about consistent care because that's what's going to be at the heart of these clinics. Teens will begin working with a dedicated team when they are 16 years old, and they will remain connected to that team until they are 25. We want these clinics to feel like a space that young people can turn to when they're hurt, when they're isolated, when they're alone, when they feel as if their struggles are only their own, when in fact we know that those are struggles that should concern all of us across the city. Especially when young people need help, but they don't know where to turn. So when they walk in, they will be greeted by a multidisciplinary treatment team that includes a social worker, a psychiatrist, a nurse, a youth peer, and a family advocate. We will measure the success of these clinics through some clear metrics. The percentage of young people who remain engaged in care as they enter adulthood, the number of emergency room visits that we reduce, and the long-term health outcomes that we improve. Most of all, we will measure success when thousands of New Yorkers each year, in addition to the ones we have, find that their transition into adulthood is a smoother one rather than a strained one. And when young people can build the careers that they have dreamed of and start the family that they've long imagined in the city that raised them. We want New Yorkers from the ages of 16 to 25 and beyond to see this as a city where they can plant lasting roots in, a city where they can chase the dreams that they have long had, not a place that they have to leave in order to fulfill those same dreams. They deserve a city that they can afford, rent that doesn't break the bank, and healthcare that is genuinely supportive as they enter into adulthood. And that is what this administration is working towards and what we are delivering together. Again, this is a clinic for New Yorkers from the ages of 16 to 25 experiencing a mental health issue. And anyone in this age bracket can contact NYC Health and Hospitals for an appointment at 1-844-NYC-4-NYC. Thank you all so much. And now our Deputy Mayor, Helena Arteaga.
Buenos dias, everyone. Buenos dias. I love Brooklyn, all this energy. I really want to thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Woodhull Hospital, and our beloved CEO here, Sandra, for having us here today on this special moment for our teenagers. As many of you recall, teenage years are not the funnest, and having teenagers myself, understanding this hard moment in their lives where they're dealing with puberty, graduation, dating, figuring out college, a job. They have plenty to worry about. One thing they should not be worried about is about their physician and their health care. And that's what this clinic is going to do today. One of the major things that we're really thrilled about is working with the amazing team here at Health and Hospitals and also with Metro Plus and providing these clinics for our teenagers where they can get a full holistic services from getting their physical to sometimes just talking to someone, but in an environment that is made and created for them. So I'm really grateful for the leadership at Metro Plus for supporting this vital program and to the wonderful team at Health and Hospitals here at Woodhull and at the corporate office for always being innovative and thinking how to deliver amazing care every day. Now that we're here to help our young people for the right things that matter and getting them healthy physically and mentally so they can live the healthiest lives they can live, but more importantly, live in the city that they want to live in. That's why I'm so excited to be here building a healthier city, a healthier generation with our amazing partners. This announcement gets to the heart of the work of our administration and the work that the mayor is committed to, treating every New Yorker, even our young ones, with dignity and the respect that they deserve, ensuring that we are addressing every issue with the root cause, addressing their behavior, emotional health, not just only in emergencies. And at the end of the day, we're lifting up the tremendous, amazing public servants that we have here in our beloved New York. And I'm so happy to be here with you. And now I get the amazing pleasure to introduce some of the minds behind this amazing program. And one of the public servants that we have here in New York City, our amazing Dr. Omar Fatan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Deputy Mayor, for your leadership and for your support. My name is Omar Fatal. I'm a psychiatrist and the Assistant Chief of Behavioral Health here at NYC Health and Hospitals. We are the city's largest provider of behavioral services, providing 60% of the care for mental health and substance use. And this translates to us seeing more than 80,000 New Yorkers every year. Out of those, almost 8,000 are adolescents. We do this through our full continuum of services, whether it's crisis services, emergency, inpatient, outpatient programs, in-community programs, and school-based clinics. Our mission is to serve all New Yorkers without exception. And this includes all New Yorkers with all age groups. As the mayor mentioned, we know that this specific age group between 16 and 25 is a very vulnerable group for many reasons. If people already have mental health condition, this is a time where they age out of foster care, they leave their parents' homes, they can graduate from college. This is a time of uncertainty. They might fall off their parents' insurance. And unfortunately, we see a lot of these people fall off care and fall between the cracks. And if they don't already have a mental health condition, this period is also very critical because a lot of mental health conditions actually start during this age range. So we're very proud to be able to bring this service, to be able to deliver those services to this specific population in a way that's effective and in a way that actually works for them. You're here in that space that we were going to be delivering the care, and you can already see how creative and innovative this program is. We're very grateful for our partners at MetroPlus Health for making this possible financially to be able to have this program here at Woodhull Hospital and at Queens Hospital. And I want to thank the Woodhull leadership and specifically the behavioral team under the leadership of Dr. Rajvi Vora. For working so hard to make this idea into a reality. I'm so proud to be part of an organization and a city that delivers on the commitment to equity and excellence every single day. Thank you, and I'm going to turn it to Dr. Shah.
Thank you, Omar. Good morning, everyone. Mayor Mamdani, colleagues and guests, it's truly an honor for MetroPlus to join our partners at New York City Health and Hospitals today, especially Sandra Sneed and the incredible team at Woodhull and Queens. I also want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your indefatigable leadership when it comes to mental health services and care in New York, and your support today to strengthen youth mental health services across New York City. Today's celebration, it is a celebration, reflects the very best of our city's public health system and the impact we can achieve when we work as one. As part of a single, integrated system, MetroPlus Health and New York City Health and Hospitals are uniquely positioned to develop initiatives just like this one, initiatives that close gaps in care and improve outcomes for our young people. MetroPlus is especially proud to support this innovative model of care for transition-age youth with ongoing mental health needs. This program, as has been said by Omar, is urgently needed to help young people navigate a particularly vulnerable period, one where too many, unfortunately, drop out of care. In this transition period, young people can lose access to their trusted providers, their familiar clinics, and support networks, just as life is becoming more complex and ostensibly independence increases. And when continuity of care breaks down, young people unfortunately fall through the cracks. Emergency room visits rise. Long-term health outcomes worsen. And families are then left struggling to fill the gaps on their own. So to address these challenges, Metro Plus Health has committed $4 million, $2 million annually to support the new Elevate U clinics, the space you're in today. These clinics will provide ongoing and consistent mental health care for youths aged 16 to 25, while also addressing physical and reproductive health needs and supporting educational, social, and vocational goals. Our investment in Elevate U reflects a clear commitment. Supporting young people today builds a healthier and more equitable city tomorrow. So today marks an important step towards that goal, and we are very, very proud to take it together. And in doing so, it elevates all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I'd like to invite my colleague, Councilmember Lynn Shulman.
I'm really glad to be here for a couple of different reasons. One is that we have these clinics that are amazing, but the other is this is my home, my second home. I worked at Woodhull for 10 years in the leadership of the hospital. And during that time, I witnessed I worked with a lot of patients. I worked with the staff on these particular issues. And I worked with a lot of the youth who, I used to talk to the pediatric doctors and say, what are we going to do when they age out? So now we have these clinics, which is so totally amazing, one of which will be in Queens, which I'm very happy about because I represent part of Queens. But I also, it's so important to have comprehensive health care, particularly for youth. And the mental health piece is so important, particularly after COVID. And these Elevate U clinics are going to be totally amazing. And I'm so glad that we have one here. I also want to say that before the holidays, I met with the mayor. And the mayor told me how important healthcare was to him. So as chair of the New York City Council Committee on Health, I'm so glad and excited to have a partner on the other side of City Hall who will work with me to make sure that New Yorkers have access to truly affordable world-class health care. And he has done so much in the time that he's been in office. One, other than this, he resurrected the program at Jacoby, the Just Home. Sorry, I blanked out there for a second there. The Just Home, which I voted on as a member of the City Council, and I supported. And that is to make sure that people who are incarcerated, who have severe illnesses, have a place where they can get adequate and safe health care. So I'm very happy about that. And then this. So you can just imagine what the next few years are going to be, and I'm very excited about having you as a partner. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning. Today, I'm honored and delighted as a registered nurse to see my mayor understand without health, with nothing. With your health, with everything. So as a nurse and chair of the City Council Hospital Committee, I cannot overstate how important this moment is. And to all the leadership here, some of y'all have been working with you. Elmers, you left my hospital, and my sister here. I love you guys. The leadership here is amazing because if you understand what health is about, there's a lot of changes you can make in your life. When we say holistic, nurses, we talk about holistic all the time. Some folks take it lightly, but holistic means from your head to your toe. Everything about you, from your health, mental health, physical health, your food, everything. So once you start addressing it in a comprehensive way, holistic way, then you have treating human being the way you're supposed to. So Mayor, I don't have no worry about you because you've been talking about how you can make people whole. So I want to say thank you. This 2 new youth clinics meant faster access to emergency care, stronger preventive services, and real support for families when they need it the most. Too often, young people in our communities face barriers to care. We know that. We heard the statistic. 90% of our youth after the age of 21 is not seeing their mental health provider. That's a problem. And we're wondering what's going on in our street, safe street, all those things. It has to be, it has to be with taking care of our health. Today, I want to say again, thank you, Mayor. I'm very proud to stand with you. It is about time for us to put our children first. If we're not addressing their needs, how we expect them to excel? It's a problem. So, Mr. Mayor, I don't want to take too long, but Metro Health Care, Metro Plus Health Care. I have to get it correct. I have so many of them, and you have been a great friend in my past life for DME. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We are going places when we start addressing our children needs and healthcare. Mental health is a real problem in our city. So thank you. God bless you.
Well, good morning. I'm Councilman Althea Stevens from the great borough of the Bronx. That's right. I got my passport stamped to be here today. I literally walked in there. It was like out there in Brooklyn. I'm like, I'm here. But anything for the kids. So if you know me, you know that I will show up for our young people. And today's a great day. I'm truly honored to stand here with our mayor, the incredible leaders of New York City Health and Hospitals, and the amazing administrative staff of Woodhall Hospital. Thank you for welcoming us for a life-saving work that you're doing every single day in our communities. Today's announcement is important to our city because investments like this is what true public safety looks like. I've been yelling about this, saying that we have to invest in our young people's mental health because this is the foundation for what they need. When we invest in young people's mental health, wellness, and stability, we are preventing crises before they happen and really affect our city. As chair of the Children's Committee on Children and Youth, and as someone who spent years working in the nonprofit sector, I understand the importance of holistic approach to solving issues for our young people, especially those who often are ignored. Young people often between the ages of 16 and 25 are navigating some of the most critical transitions of their lives, and too many of them fall through the cracks at those age because of pediatric care is running out. That's why the Snoop Clinic in Woodhall and New York City Health and Hospitals here in Queens are here and in Queens, Brooklyn and Queens, don't worry, I'm sure we're going to get one in the Bronx, are very important. That's right. Anytime you give us something, we always want more. By providing primary health care, behavioral health services, reproductive care, vocational supports, and social services all in one place through consistent care teams, we are meeting young people where they are and addressing the full picture of their needs. This is how we build equality in healthcare. This is how we reduce emergency room visits, long improvement outcomes, and ensure that young people are here and they are surviving and thriving. Thank you all for being here and making this possible. I look forward to continuing working together and ensuring the mental health of all of our young people. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm New York City Councilmember Chiose, and I have the great honor of representing this district, Bed-Stuy and Crown Heights in the City Council. So welcome back to Bed-Stuy, Mr. Mayor. I know you're no stranger to this neighborhood. Not too long ago, I actually turned 27 years old, and I had a colleague just remind me that I no longer get to join this program now. And I say that to say because oftentimes in government, when we talk about health care for youth, it mainly pertains to preteens or young children. So to have this clinic for young people ages 16 to 25 is so essential because this health care, this care that this entire clinic will be providing is needed within this community and across the city as a whole. New York City Health and Hospitals, as many of you know, is the largest municipal health system in the United States. And that means what we do here sets a standard for the rest of the country. And it means we have a responsibility to make sure that young people are not left behind as their healthcare needs to change. Across the city, the cost of healthcare is forcing working families into impossible choices. Too many New Yorkers are forced to delay a doctor's visit, avoid the emergency room, or stretch their medication just to get by. That is unacceptable in a city as wealthy as this one. Health and Hospitals steps in to make care care accessible and affordable. Young people deserve this type of consistent, reliable care, and these new youth clinics at Woodhull make that possible. This moment builds on the investments my office has already made in Woodhull. 2 years ago, we secured nearly $2 million for a new emergency department CT scanner, and that investment strengthened Woodhull's ability to care for Bed-Stuy's residents in the moments that matter most. This is a hospital that needs a lot of love and attention, so I applaud the mayor, I applaud every single partner for making this possible. We need millions and millions and millions of more dollars for Woodhull to make it state-of-the-art. So, looking forward to another announcement in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I got to bring that one down a little bit for me here. So I represent across the street on the other side of Flushing Avenue, and Councilmember Gutierrez is the other side of Broadway. So together with Councilmember Osei, we all do our best to look out for Woodhull, and it's great to be with the mayor, our deputy mayor, the great team at Woodhull, President Sneed, Dr. McDonald. You know, great things are happening here. A Gotham Health state-of-the-art clinic opened up across the street just a couple years ago that is providing excellent primary care, excellent secondary care to really meet the health needs of New Yorkers. My borough president helped put together $20 million to build a brand new birthing suite that is opening here at Woodhull next year to ensure that we finally address the disgusting, the indefensible disparities in maternal mortality, and with this incredible new clinic to ensure that our young adults are accessing the mental health care that they need. Woodhull is really doing an amazing job, and we need to invest more in our public hospitals than ever. I know our deputy mayor gets it as a proud person who's worked in our public hospital system, but we're losing billions of dollars in Medicaid funding from Washington. Hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers are losing their health care this year. And when that happens, New Yorkers come to our public hospital system to get the care that they need. Woodhull is the place that always has its door open, whether you have insurance or you don't, whether you have money or you don't. Woodhull is going to provide you with the care that you need and deserve. And so now more than ever, we need to make real investments in Woodhull. We need to ensure that H&H has the resources that it needs to provide excellent care to every New Yorker. And I have to say, every day I am proud to be a Metro Plus healthcare member, but especially today, this is the public option in New York City. It's already available here in the 5 boroughs for every New Yorker. And we should all be signing up to support Metro Plus because it brings resources into health and hospitals. It supports our public institutions, and Metro cards don't exist anymore. It's about the Metro Plus. This is what it's about. Sign up for Metro Plus. Thank you all.
Good morning, everybody. Buenos dias. State Senator Jabari Brisport. I represent Bed-Stuy in the State Senate. I feel like I represent Brooklyn. I'm Brooklyn all day, every day. But I want to thank the Mayor's Office, Woodhull, Metro Plus for this incredible partnership today. You know, it's often said that the mark of a great society is when old men plant trees in whose shade they know they will never lie in. And I know our mayor is not that old, but I know he recognizes that investing in our youth is one of the best things, the most important things that can be done with government. And the partnership between government, the hospital, Metro Plus today will indeed save lives. I'm not just the chair of the Committee on Children and Families in the State Senate. I also was a public school teacher before I was a state senator. And I remember one of the reasons for running for office was seeing how under-resourced my school was. We had 3 counselors for about 1,400 youth. And I would remember whenever I tried to send a child who needed someone to talk to over to the counselor, they would say they'll do their best, but they have a line out the door. Because our youth need someone to talk to. And thanks to this partnership, they're going to have someone here at Woodhull. And I would be remiss without acknowledging some of the context in our local community. You know, a few days ago, we lost another youth to gun violence, Elquan Tillman. There'll be a shooting response this evening at 5 p.m. But again, thank you to the partnership that's being started here today, continued here today. We can say not one more youth lost to gun violence. So thank you again to the mayor, to Woodhull, and to Metro Plus. I'm very excited that this is coming, and I'm looking forward to the future of our community. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, family, I should say, and welcome home for so many of you that are here today. Before I give my brief remarks, I really just want to give a call to action to each and everyone who is sitting in these seats and to those of you who work in this building. When you leave this press conference today, when you leave the ribbon cutting, I want you to walk slowly out of the door. I want you to pay attention from everybody, from the porter to the president. And I want you to look at the attention that these wonderful public servants have set today, not only for this clinic, but for every single corridor in this institution. When you look outside, or you look from the outside, you can't really see the heart of the people inside this building. What you see is a pretty scary edifice. So, maybe we could get some money for some good paint outside to get people here. Clean the windows up a bit. I say that because hospitals can be very, very daunting places for our young people, for our immigrant families, and we want to make sure that they understand the warmth that exists in this building, that when you come into Woodhull, you will be cared for. So today, we are not just cutting a ribbon, we are opening access. This transition youth behavioral health clinic is a major milestone because the ages between adolescence and adulthood are some of the most vulnerable years of life. And too many young people fall through the cracks during that transition, as you've heard. The clinic here sends a different message. We see you, we hear you, and you don't have to carry it alone. In Central Brooklyn, our young people are navigating real pressures, stress, traumas, some due to gun violence, anxiety, grief, housing insecurity, and community violence. And they deserve support that is timely, that is culturally competent and responsive and rooted in dignity. As your assembly member, I am committed to fighting for investments in mental health and ensuring that the access remains open to everyone who is in need. This clinic is something that we have dreamed of, and we are happy to have so much support from the entire city council almost, certainly Metro Health Plus and others. I want to just say congratulations to each of you for setting the intention, for all of you for coming together, banding today, to our leadership. She has joined us and hit the ground running. The partnerships, the leadership who are sitting here, those of you, Jessica, who make sure that we are here supporting all the efforts. And I just want to also say that what we do here at Woodhull doesn't remain inside. This is a community-centered lifeline. It is a safety net for so many people, and we are outside doing the work together. So thank you all for being here to witness this today. And let's go cut this ribbon. Thank you, Mayor, for coming here today.
Good morning. Good morning. So, Mr. Mayor, this is my hospital. And, the Mets have Mr. Met, Woodhull has Mr. Woodhull, which is me. I've been asking President Snead to add me to the payroll for about 12 years, and she's denied every request. But I'm so happy to be here because what we're talking about here is public safety. This is what we've been talking about for so long. Everyone wants to add more cops and put our young people in jail. That's not how we solve for public safety. The way we solve for it is ensuring that our young people get the help that they deserve and need. And our hospitals shouldn't just be places where people go for emergencies. They should go for places where they can be safe, can be helped, and can be nurtured to be the great young people that New York City expects them to be. It took Mayor Mamdani to recognize that for us to see what we're seeing today. 22 days is what it took Mayor Mamdani to come to Woodhull Hospital. 22 days. He never says he's too busy to be here, to show up for us. I want to end with Dr. Katz. It's deeply important. He said when there was a budget recession that we shouldn't be in an austerity position for our hospitals. We should be doing more. We need podiatrists. We need doctors, pediatricians. We need eye doctors. We need more in our hospitals so people could see that as a central location for care and didn't start making budget cuts. He invested in our hospitals and helped save them. And what we're seeing here is a continuation of using our hospitals as a primary location to continue to help and save our people. So I want to say thank you. I'm going to say it in Spanish very quickly for Spanish media. I'm going to translate a little bit for what the mayor said. He started with, soy el alcalde Mamdani y el condado de Brooklyn es mi favorito condado en la ciudad de Nueva York. I got it. No, pero en serio. Hoy lo que estamos viendo es que nuestro alcalde está invirtiendo en nuestra juventud. De 16 a 25 años, ahora nuestra juventud va a poder recibir lo necesario para su salud mental aquí mismo en Woodhull Hospital y en Queens Hospital. Son esfuerzos que nosotros estamos esperando para ayudar a nuestra juventud y buscar manera de apoyarlo en vez de mandarlo a la cárcel o en otro problema. Eso se está solucionando aquí en este hospital debajo del liderazgo de nuestro alcalde. Thank you so much.
Time for a few questions. We'll start with on-topic questions. Mariela, are you around? Can I see everybody? Okay, let's start right here.
Are you seeing me?
Yes.
You mentioned the word holistic approach to the young people. By the way, congratulations. I think this is an amazing initiative. This is my home hospital, so I'm excited about it. What percentage of holistic is going to be added to the young people? Are we talking about natural approaches, food, which we know can also help with the balancing and the mental wellness? Anyone who wants to answer that question?
Yeah, I can just speak to it broadly, and then I'll invite the experts on the exact subject matter. I can tell you that what makes me so excited, and I think so many of the other elected officials who are here today, is that this will be a youth clinic where young people can come to, and they don't just receive social services assistance, they don't just receive mental health assistance, they also receive vocational assistance, they also receive the kind of assistance that oftentimes they're actually afraid to even ask for. They don't even know where to turn to. And what this is about is creating a place where a young person can go when they have a question and they don't know who has the answer. This will be that first step.
Yeah, exactly. As Mayor mentioned, holistic, in that sense, you see a fridge also behind you and a kitchenette. So definitely it does include the nutrition, but it also includes all these aspects of someone's life, vocational. During that time, people might be looking for a job. They might be graduating from college, helping them with that, but also creating that sense of community. We know that community is a big factor, especially for this age group. You see a couch behind me where people can hang out, play games on this screen. So it's basically approaching every aspect of their lives.
Thank you. Yeah, Mariela in the back.
Mr. Mayor, hi. For NMAS Univision, there's a huge group of transgender Hispanic youth who feel outcasted more than ever now in these difficult times. Is there going to be a program particularly geared to them with this new initiative?
This is going to be an initiative for each and every young person across the city. And we want to make clear that when we stand up for New Yorkers, that also means we stand up for trans New Yorkers. This is a city which I am the mayor for every single person who calls the city home. And for too long, there has been a sense in this city that if you don't conform to the exact sets that people in power will tell you, that you don't have a champion of yours in the corridors of power. Those days are now over. We are going to stand up for every single New Yorker. That includes trans New Yorkers. And today, the importance of this, it's also because young people are often the ones who are thought of the least in places where we find power. You know, when we go through City Hall, we think about this age group. 16 to 25. We often think about them and talk about them only in terms of the rate at which they vote. And what we've actually found recently is that if you give them a vision that shows them their place in it, they too will vote. But more important than that, however, is that we have to prove to them that we care about them, that we want them to succeed in this city, and that their struggles are not just theirs to bear alone. And I can tell you that moment when you stop being a child and you start being an adult, it feels as if you are the only one who is navigating that. There's no one else to turn to. And I know that for many New Yorkers, they might not be able to find that support in their own family. And so what we want to show them is that this city can also be a part of that same family. Thank you.
NJ, go ahead.
It's an off-topic.
Yeah, on Snow.
Okay. Yeah. So I wonder whether you're nervous at all about the storm. And I think you probably know the history. You don't have to go back to John Lindsay and the Blizzard of '69. Not that I covered that. But your last 3 predecessors faced challenging storms. They made some mistakes and made headlines. So are you feeling the weight of history?
I think what I'm thinking more about is how can I do every single thing in my power to make this as seamless of an experience for New Yorkers as possible. And I think it is only right that New Yorkers judge their leaders by their ability to deliver for them in the most day-to-day aspects of their life. Because for so much of what we talk about in politics, what I'll find from New Yorkers is the questions come back to the things that they experience over a 24-hour period. And over the course of this snowstorm, what they want to know is there going to be a mayor that's going to tell them that it's coming? Is there going to be a DSNY that is prepared to put the salt across this whole city? Is there going to be a plan in place, whether it's 3 inches or 12 inches or however many, that none of us are surprised? And I think that's what they're going to see in our administration, is we take this seriously because it has serious consequences for New Yorkers' lives. It can mean the inconvenience and knowing that it might be a more slippery walk that you're going to take. It can also mean a real fear to your safety if you do not know that this is coming and you still have to take the kind of trip that you would have otherwise planned for. And so what we are asking of New Yorkers is to take every precaution they can in their own life, and what we will deliver to them is a city government that is going to meet them there in doing everything in our power to make this a weekend that they will not have to remember any months from now.
Yeah, we've got time for a few more. Andrew, then Kelly.
Mayor, you know yesterday I asked you about the snow day possibility.
Yes.
What I wanted to ask you is, do you agree with the current mayoral position, which is that any weather-related closure should lead to virtual education that day? Or do you disagree with what was an Adams administration policy, the de Blasio administration policy, that we should have virtual school?
You know, I will tell you, as of now, we have not yet made a decision as to what Monday will be. And we are going through every different aspect of the impact of a possible decision. As I said earlier, parents feel one way about this, students feel very differently about this. What I want to make sure, however, is that we are making a decision that does not have a massive impact on people's day-to-day lives, not only this coming next few days, but also for the school year in its entirety. Those are the conversations we're having right now with our chancellor, with our internal team as well.
Hi, Mr. Mayor.
Hey, Kelly.
I wanted to ask you, Mahmoud Khalil has a deportation order to Algeria. I'm wondering, are you doing any back-channeling with the president on his case to get that changed? And then I noticed the borough president is here.
We'll do one at a
first time since he's been endorsed by Nydia Velázquez. And the question for both of you, you both standing here united, what does this mean for the Democratic Party here in New York that seems to be schisming and splitting between progressives and Democratic socialists?
So I will go with your first question, then I'll go to your second question. Mahmoud Khalil is a New Yorker. He should remain in New York City. We have seen this attack on him as part of a larger attack on the freedom of speech that is especially pronounced when it comes to the use of that speech to stand up for Palestinian human rights. And I will make that clear to everyone, and I have said it time and again, that he deserves to stay in the city. He deserves to be in the city just like any other New Yorker. And I can tell you that too often, on your second question, New Yorkers are asking themselves, what does this actually mean for me when it comes to politics, right? The borough president is running for Congress. He's a friend of mine. I've endorsed another candidate for that seat. Incredibly excited about her, Assemblymember Claire Valdez. All of those things can be true, and we can still be working together to deliver for the young people of New York City. And that's what we have to show, is that we can keep moving this agenda forward. We can keep moving this vision forward so that New Yorkers don't ask themselves, what good or what use is politics when it doesn't seem to have any impact on my day-to-day life? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Miles.
I just, we came up during my boss's administration, right, when we did not have snow days. Is it weighing on you as a former New York City school student
Yes.
to make a decision on snow days?
Look, I can tell you as a guy who grew up in New York City, many of my favorite memories were packing that trash can at the bottom of the hill. And actually, that's one of the first times I went to a hospital in New York City is when we hit the jump. I was supposed to be on the back. We hit the jump so well that I ended up being in the front. And then my friend landed on my head. And I got a concussion and I went to the hospital. And I turned out mostly okay. And I tell you that to say that snow is also an incredible amount of fun for so many young people across the city. We also want to make a decision that we know is the right decision to make, not just in the immediate, but also in the medium and the long term, and is part of a larger policy. So it doesn't weigh on me too much, though I don't begrudge anyone for their strong feelings, either way.
Thank you guys. We're going to do the ribbon cutting now. So we're going to just bring this in here.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.